So we are here this morning with Larry Chiang, who is the president and CEO of Duck9 and also the author of the upcoming book, What They Don't Teach You at Business School. Larry, thanks for taking time out this morning to talk with us.
Morning. How are you?
Fantastic. We are here at South by Southwest, where you're talking on we're giving a panel today about venture capitalism and entrepreneurship, and you do a lot in the entrepreneur community. Can you talk a little bit about where that came from?
Sure. I was an entrepreneur in college, and one of the reasons that I became an entrepreneur was the fact that I thought that changes needed to be made. I went to University of Illinois, where there's some problems with the school, it's a big school, so you're going to get lost in the shuffle. So if you're not entrepreneurial, you're going to get lost a little bit. So that's what initially motivated me.
Okay, and what's the panel about today at the conference?
The panel's on Sunday
Sunday,
at South by Southwest, which is a great setting here in Austin. The panel on Sunday is going to be venture capital secrets. What's your plan B for fundraising? Because I personally have a theory that entrepreneurs oftentimes hear those success stories, but really every entrepreneur that I've ever talked to, he's only successful because he embraces temporary failure. And that's why I called it Plan B for fundraising, when it really could be Plan C or Plan D, because fundraising is not going to work out for anybody. I don't care if you're Mark Zuckerberg now on his next deal. Fundraising is going to be tough, where if you are able to work a Plan B or a Plan C, you're going to be successful because you're going to weather storms, you're going to weather a downturn. Can you buy your company out of bankruptcy? Can you weather a mutiny? Can you suffer a couple setbacks?
Sure, okay. And especially in this kind of down economy, you kind of touched on it already, where entrepreneurs might be a little bit more anxious about securing funding. Is there anything that they have to watch out for, or just make sure that they're doing best by themselves without kind of selling it all out?
I think one of the most important things before you even look at funding is to try to get to 900K in revenue. What happens there is a lot of good things where you can replicate it. VCs want to buy into something that literally has no risk, and granted, everything has a lot of risk. In a VC's mind, what happens when there's revenue, that way there's a model that's in place, where they want to make every dollar they put into, every unit of money they put into, turn into 2 to 3 units of near-term, short-term money, not on a net present value basis per se, but just from almost a cash flow basis, where it's very granular. And that's what entrepreneurs need to kind of vet in their own mind is, can I take 10 grand and turn it into 30? Because if you can't take 10 and turn it into 30, you're going to have to be able to take 10 mil and turn it into 30. I mean, it's a scale issue for sure, but if you can't do it on a small scale where it's you and 2 guys, how are you going to be able to do it on a large scale?
Right.
So getting to 900K is critical. And I actually talked about that in a post that I wrote called 9 VCs You Don't Want to Meet.
Excellent, excellent. Well, let's talk about what they don't teach you in business school, because
Sure.
it's a great Business Week column. It's irreverent, it's funny. It touches on a lot of subjects that obviously they don't teach you in business school. But what was the genesis of that?
Well, to be 100% honest with you, I cut and paste that content from 1983. It's actually chapter 3 of my book is how to cut and paste. I also wrote a Business Week post on how to cut and paste, or yes, I cut and paste. You want to cut and paste other people's work because there's no exact way to cut and paste it, and copyright law has, if you change it 25%, you're no longer plagiarizing. So
I think that's about right. Well, yeah. we'll check that with the lawyers.
Well, I have, because
right now,
the book title is exactly the same. So my book comes out September 9, on Wednesday, and it's about things that they don't teach in business school. And one of the easiest ways to get up and get at them is to cut and paste other people's content. And my mentor, Mark McCormack, wrote this great book, and I read about it on Amazon, where it was only rated at like 3.5 stars. So I decided to write a review, but one review out of 40 reviews is not going to move the needle very much. So then what I thought about doing was writing a blog post. So the blog post then turned into a fan club, really, for Mark McCormack's book, What They Don't Teach You at Harvard Business School, which is actually on Amazon. And it's my personal goal that after my book comes out, Mark McCormack, he started IMG. He's the original Jerry Maguire mentor of Dickie Fox at IMG. He manages supermodels, professional athletes, and of course, I think actors too. But the reason I bring this up is the fact that he, in his originality, even though he passed away in 2003, a lot of that gets lost because he used examples of Richard Nixon or Arnold Palmer. And he's He's the original person who licensed Wimbledon. He's a super innovator. He started the Pro Golfers Tour. So I think a lot of those get lost in the shuffle. So I'm just basically freshening up that content in my book. It's with a different publishing house, but I want to put his old publishing house, or his book. I want to put his book on the bestseller list.
Right. Excellent, excellent. So where can people find you online?
I'm super easy. If you just type in Larry Chiang without the or with the ICHIANG. And if you type in Larry Chiang business card, you'll even get my cell phone number. I'm super accessible. In fact, sort of people think it's an illusion. Don't try to call that cell phone number, because if you do, I will pick that up if you Google it.
Excellent. Well, Larry Chiang, thanks very much for your time, and we look forward to your panel on Sunday.
Thanks.
And thanks for talking with us.
Cool.